Is Friday, June 26th, and we are coming to the end of the week. No, it's hard to imagine we're already at the end of June pretty well. We only got a few more days left in it, and then we're into full-blown summer. We're on to the long weekends here pretty well. Canada Day is coming up next week, actually next Wednesday, July 1st, and it's kind of one of our big long weekends here in Canada. I realize in the US it's also coming up on July 4th, your Independence Day, which is on next Saturday. So you guys will have probably a good long weekend there as well. I'm not sure of the rest of them that are coming up around the world, unfortunately, and I apologize for that. Living in North America, I just know the two. I know there's probably other ones that are coming up that are just as important to everybody, and I hope you all have a good long weekend for everyone who has one coming up. I should try to learn some of these other long weekends. I think learning about some of the other ones that are coming up and are around in other spots on the calendar would be a lot of fun and pretty interesting to figure out as well. So I promise I will try to figure out some of the other ones as they do come up and come along. It's just not something I've ever honestly thought a huge amount about until now. And that's totally on me. So I will take a look and see what I can find and learn about some of the other long weekends and cultural significant dates as they pertain to others. And I don't know if this is picking up the right camera right at the moment. Is not. So let me see if I can. Oh, no, not that one. Let me see if I can fix this. Take a quick look. There we go. It did come up with the wrong camera, but now we have her all fixed up. A little off, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what. It looked correct, except there were some things that just weren't quite right. So now we have it fixed up and working correctly. So thank you for your quick moment of patience there. Apparently today we're in for rain and thunderstorms. We didn't get rain or thunderstorms yesterday. We got a lot of really good sunshine and a lot of warm weather and some really lovely blue skies. As a matter of fact, I decided to wear my flip-flops or thongs, depending on how old you are and how you want to call them, which is basically just footwear for those who are uninitiated. And my feet have some very lovely tan lines that just kind of go from the big toe and straight across my feet. Also feel like I may have got a little too much sun across my shoulders, so they're a little dried out. They're not burnt, but they are definitely not they feel a little more cooked than they probably should be. But today it definitely looks like we could be in for some uglier weather. So hopefully that stays off and goes away. Especially considering the fact I have a barbecue I'm supposed to be going to this afternoon around 5:30. So I'm hoping that this weather stays away and that the barbecue will keep going, because I would like to be able to go visit all these people and have this lovely barbecue, because there are some really good people and I really like hanging out with them. So I would like to be able to see these few people that are having this. Luckily, it's all outside, so we can have a few extra people there, so it won't be too bad for keeping the social distancing, which is perfect. So we can kind of all get together, hang out, and still be somewhat apart from one another, which still on. So kind of a funny thing with that is, depending on the stores that you go into and the area of the stores that you go into. So like here, you go into the local Canadian Tire, it's pretty much like a free-for-all. But then you go into one that's like, say, in a different city, it's probably not so much. They probably have a lot more organized. So it's kind of funny going into different spots at different stores, and then going to different stores in the same area. So say going to our local Canadian Tire opposed to going to our local Walmart, the one store seems like it's a complete free-for-all, and then the other one seems to be a lot more organized, has better arrows and directions on how to get around. And then I went into our local mall yesterday for the first time. First time since probably winter, actually. I'm not a big mall goer, so I haven't been in there for quite some time. Um, at least a few months before the pandemic even hit. So probably around Christmas. Just probably because I was going Christmas shopping. Or I was maybe looking for something for Boxing Day for myself, for the kids or something. And so I haven't been in the mall for quite some time. All the stores are there and open. And the way they have them all set up is really quite unique because they have them so you have to enter in through one way and then back out the other way. The plexiglass is everything I was expecting. Like they all have like some sort of plexiglass shields on their counters. So that way, if they're just talking to you and you have to sneeze or cough or whatever, it doesn't get onto them or vice versa. So it's definitely a two-way protection. But just the way they all have their entrances set up now with hand sanitizer and different cleaners. One store actually had where they had hand sanitizer on a table, a direction to come in on one side and then to leave on the other. But you had to sign in and then sign out at the same time. So just in case anything happened, that they could trace it back and let you know if anyone came in that was sick and if it happened to be around the same time. And then they had the amount of people that were allowed in the stores as well, which was really quite neat. I really thought that was a good idea. I'm not sure how long this part will really last, where people are restricted to how many people they can have in stores, and the entrance setups I don't mind. Like I think that's totally fine. Like having them come in one way and then go out the other way, and then having a hand sanitizer set up if people want to use it. I just don't know how long it'll last to be able to have it set where they only have like 2-3 people in a store or however many people they are allowed, especially starting to come up later in the year when it becomes closer to Christmas and Black Friday, obviously, just as people are going to want to swarm the stores and get in and buy things. So I'm not sure how long the restriction of people in the store will last. I'm assuming the breaking point on that is around the Christmas shopping season. The entrances for a lot of the stores and how they have them set up, they could leave that forever and I wouldn't really care, because I think that's totally acceptable, having them like an entrance and an exit going around some sort of table. Even the mall has some stuff set up where they actually have stickers on the floor that lead into these stores to say, okay, if you have to line up for the store, this is how you do it and this is where you go, to kind of keep people flowing along and being able to get around people and having lineups for the stores to keep people out properly and lined up, and then still leave space for people to get by within the mall as well. The way they had it set up was really quite smart and really quite ingenious. And then some of the bigger chain stores that have the big folding doors and have big entrances would have their big folding security doors just kind of sitting in the middle to do the same thing, where they just have it set up so you had to go in one way and then back out the other, which, like I said, I think it's totally fine. I totally applaud some of their ingenuity and their efforts on trying to make some of this work out properly for them. And I think that's a really good idea on what they've done with it. It's and I think even leaving that up through the Christmas and holiday seasons is totally fine as well, just as that will keep people having to flow in one way and then flow out the other way, which will, I think it's just really smart, and it would probably prevent potential for shoplifting as well, because then people have to enter in one way and then exit out the other way. Not that I want to corral people and not take away freedoms or anything. I just think it's a really smart idea to have like one kind of entrance and then one kind of exit, just to keep the flow of people going through nicely. Whether they keep the arrow idea on the inside, it's I don't know if that will stay around either. I just think the way they have some of the entrance done right at the moment is fairly smart, especially right now. And then going on forward, I don't think that's something that would really have to change, but it may change back to the regular way of the old regular way, the regular way. I don't know what you already want to call it, but I think the way they had some of it set up, at least in our mall, looked pretty good and pretty decent, and it didn't really take away from anything. It wasn't a very busy day, but I mean, people are at work. It was sunny out, so why would people want to be in the mall? The only reason I was because I was looking for something, which unfortunately I didn't end up finding, which was neither here nor there. I could have just gone to probably the local stationery store and found it. But I didn't feel like going to the stationery store afterwards to go take a look. I had things I had to get done, so I ended up just coming home and taking care of that. Which reminds me, I went on to the training, and then I went outside and hung up the kids' bird feeders. which looked pretty sweet. I did a pretty good job in getting those hung up and leveled. Or at least the hangers leveled. The bird feeders were easy to hang them up and move the chains around a little bit. Talked to my neighbor, hung out with my neighbor for a little bit. Came in, went for a Zoom call, and just have a few other things set up. It was a really good day yesterday. Looking forward to today as well, as there's I got a webinar this morning again, and then I got to get ready to go to this barbecue, and I have a few things that go downtown. I had someone's number and I can't seem to find it, but he is a landscaper, and I know where I can find his information. So I'm just going to zip downtown and see if I can find it there and get a hold of him for something. Not for landscaping, because I don't have much to do on the landscaping part of it. Although the fountains he makes are absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to have one of them, but I don't need one of them right at this point. So, and I like the space for my kids and dog to run around. So I'm not going to get a fountain put into my place right away. But I do have some questions about some other stuff, so I'm going to get a hold of them and see what I can get found out. Oh, pardon me. Oh, man. And yeah, my allergies are still killing me right at the moment, so it's been a bit of a battle. I am slowly winning the battle, which is nice. So it's... Oh, definitely done a number on me. I sleep good, but I wake up pretty stuffed up and congested just from the fact that I have my window open, and then still the freshly cut grass and stuff that are drying out and floating around through the air. Also, I finally got Mr. J's door sensor. So when it opens up when he's here, it will now alert me that he's opened his door. And I have it set up so it'll turn on. If he has to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have it set where it'll turn the light on in the bathroom as a red light that's just kind of low level, so that way it doesn't hopefully wake him up too much. And that way it'll send an alert to my phone, which will just be like a silent alert because I have it on Do Not Disturb. It'll just like show up on my phone, and then I will know that he has woken up at some point in the middle of the night, and I will be able to kind of know what the plan is for him on the day, just because of the fact that I'll know when he woke up, which has always been a struggle to know, especially if I'm dead tired and I'm like sleeping like a rock. I never know when he's woken up, how long he's been awake for, any of that stuff. So this will at least allow me to know that he's woken up. So if I'm doing stuff and at 9 o'clock he's still asleep, I'll at least know that he was awake at, say, 2:30 in the morning, which might mean he didn't fall asleep, for another hour and a half, 2 hours. So him sleeping a little bit later makes sense. I won't know if that's true or not, but I'll at least know there's that possibility that he has woken up at a certain time or at an earlier time and has gone back to bed, but may not have fallen back to sleep right away, and that might be why he's still sleeping. Because right now I don't have any idea. So this will help me figure that out a little bit more. I thought about putting like a camera in his room or something so I could see him what he's doing, or be able to go back and say, okay, yeah, he didn't fall back asleep. But I don't want to take privacy away from him either. So there's no cameras in the actual house anywhere like that, because I don't feel right about doing something like that, especially in the bedrooms. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's just weird and creepy. Almost as creepy as having them in the bathrooms. So that's not something I'm ever going to do. I mean, he's 11. He's autistic, and that would be the only reason I would want to do it, was just to kind of see how long it took him to get back to sleep. But I'm pretty sure I can find other ways of trying to figure out how long it took him to get back to sleep. I'm sure I could find some sort of sensor that I could have that would let me know if he went back to bed, how long it took him to fall back to sleep. I'm sure there's all kinds of things I could do that would help me track that part of it a lot better than putting a camera in, which I am not about to do. Never going to do that. Nope. No cameras. The only cameras I would have in the house would be ones that are outside for security purposes, that are monitoring each door. That would be all the kind of cameras I would end up doing. I would most likely never put them in the house. If I did, it would be just in the living room area here, and that'd be it. That would be for something to do with probably the show or something like that as well, and that would be all I would end up doing. But But yeah, I just want to be able to figure out when he's woken up and if he's fallen back to sleep right away or if he's didn't. But at least knowing when he woke up and seeing that he's sleeping a little bit later, I'll at least be able to figure out that he was probably awake for a short period of time anyway. And I think that will work out well. I won't know until this weekend because I just got it yesterday, day before, and we'll find out. We'll find out over the weekend how well this works. I've tested the door, and it seems like the sensor on the door is working properly, which is great. I just need to be able to test it out with the light and see how well that works as well, because I've set it up already, so it only works Friday night to Tuesday morning, and then only in the evenings when he would normally be sleeping. So if he does open it up, I'll at least get those alerts after between a certain period of time each night when he's here. And that will be that will be a game changer, knowing when he's woken up for midnight bathroom breaks, because that kid drinks an awful lot of water. So it'll be perfect, just at least knowing when he's woken up. All right, that is the show for today. I want to thank you so much for coming out and joining me on this lovely morning, and I look forward to serving you more. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for joining us with Morning Coffee with Rob. Like I said, we are back on Monday, June 29th, and then back on June 30th. And then I think from there, we're going to take a short break just to recalibrate the show and figure out a way of bringing you some better, fun content. And we'll be back probably the first week of July. So I'm basically taking the long weekend off. That's what I plan on doing. All right. You all have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye.